Welcome back everyone to another training week. You're watching the week of 24th April, and today I'm coming to you live from not live, but I'm coming to you from the Gold Coast with this sweet as view. You can see the ocean there in the background between the buildings. It's beautiful sunny skies out here. That's where we're at. So we're at the Oceania Championships. Finally made it after a 6-week long build-up, slightly more than that. And today we have our podium training, but that's a story for another week. This was the final full week before we left, and it was a shorter week. We had the Karen Bishop Memorial Competition on the weekend, so I think I only had a 4-day training week. I don't think I did much on the Friday. And by the end of this week, you'll notice that all the mock competitions and run-throughs and big training sessions from the previous week had definitely caught up to me. This particular week, I finally shot up to 20 single pommel circles, and I made a pommel routine on a Monday, which I haven't done yet. On a Monday with my sweatpants on. Did laundry over the weekend and forgot to bring in my longs, so I had to just go in sweatpants. Now you're not missing much there. I was just doing layout punch front tuck in my first tumble. And again, trying to do a little bit of extra reps with that open double back as a second pass. And my friends, to this moment, I still don't know what I'm going to do for a second tumble. The intelligent approach would be just to do a double backflip. My second thoughts around that, I've only been training open double backflips in the last 6 weeks or more. That shouldn't throw me off too much. I'm sure I'll know where I am if I grab my legs and open up earlier. But yeah, I think I'll test one out today at podium training and see how it goes. We had our first training session yesterday in the back gym. Podium training will of course be in the competition arena. And I'm still feeling a little bit like my body's holding back. Travel was only 4 hours, wasn't much of a flight, although our flight was at, all I know is that I had to get up at 5:30, and let's just say I got there just in the nick of time. Caught some Z's on the airplane and had a really chilled out first session at the Gold Coast. Couple of the boys already had a swim at the beach, and we heard the water's quite warm. I'm going to save my swim till Sunday morning after the day after the comp. Trying to make a new tradition where I go and take a dip in the ocean before the flight back home. So anyway, I'm talking more about the actual Gold Coast lifestyle more than the gymnastics build-up. So it looks like Monday's coming to an end, and for the final time before our departure, our coach David came down on the Tuesday. So as you saw in the weekly focus, I thought I would do less routine work and more repetitions of skills and sequences. Bit of a chest down there. That was a bit better. When I think of that skill as just an ordinary double back, if I have double back in my set, usually goes quite well. When I'm running, round off and flick-flicking with the idea that I'm doing a double back full, inevitably that messes up the takeoff a little bit. So it goes to show that the skill's not quite fully ripe yet. But sometimes you got to test it out at some events, and I find a lot of the times I get clues as to how to do the skills better when I do them under pressure at competitions. Only problem here is it's a very important competition, being the World Championships qualifier. So here, rather than doing a full routine, I did 2 second halves and 2 first halves, I think it was, with just the open double back in the first set, and got an extra rep of my last 3 tumbles. And in my head, I was trying to gauge sticks for every pass. That one came pretty close. There was a good hip angle there. Pretty much straight. So now that I'm a bit more comfortable on pommel horse, I think I'm gonna start focusing on opening my hips up in my swing, getting rid of that pike in the 3/4 position. My first quarter is usually okay, and as I come through that 3/4, I bend my hips to get my legs back faster. So I was shooting for a pommel routine 2 days in a row, but it looks like that routine on the Monday definitely held me back a bit on the Tuesday. Part of me thinks, well, it's a pretty easy routine, I should be able to do it 2 days in a row. But another part of me knows, looking at that right elbow, it's just so hard for me to just circle on the leather. I need to rewire. Yeah, look at that, boom. I need to learn those Roth and Tom Fay skills. Maybe that reverse Roth project I started last week will come in handy, because Magya Savato is quite difficult, but at the same time, only really just getting started with the pommel horse work for this year. So my instinct says that if I continue swinging, by the time the later half of the year comes around, the swing should get easier. I'll probably have more open hips and better range of motion. Looks like one of the better invert crosses that I've done so far. Really slow progress on that strength stuff. Hey, but that one looked okay besides the height. So how much would all the stuff add, I wonder? I haven't actually thought of my routine if I add this in. Obviously I'll do the invert at the start. So if I start like that with a kip L forward roll to invert, so I'm counting 10 skills, I have a 14.5. I would replace, I'm counting an L sit, so I would replace an L sit A part for the backer prize invert, which is an E, so I get 0.4. 0.4, that would take us up to a 4.9. 4.9 looks good on paper, but then an Alcid gets this much deduction. A backer prize to invert is gonna get probably more deduction than the bonus that I'm racking up. Unless, of course, it develops nicely and I get it a bit lower. Now, I don't know how visible my elbows are, but I do know that my elbows aren't quite locked when I do it. So that's something I'm gonna have to incorporate into my inverted cross training as well. Right now I'm sort of thinking lower, 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 get as low as you can and hold, but I am bending my arms to get away with that lower hold than I otherwise would be holding if my elbows were straight. So it looks like I still sent a pommel and P-bar routine this day, and after a first half. Looks like I was a bit wonky in the Peach 1 bar this day. Question is, how did the Giant Diami go? Peach was nice, a little bit slow, a bit off, but the skill was there. Some feet breaks, feet apart. Arms were a bit bent on the catch. I like when I catch Healy with my hands parallel. You might have noticed that sometimes after I catch the Healy, I do a little step to get my hands parallel on the swing up. There's William. William is there, and William is also, you probably can't see him, but he's over there chilling before our podium training session. We're roomies. Will, David, and I are in one apartment. Ethan, Sam, and Daniel are in another. We reunited with Ethan. Came down from Penn State on the Monday, so he's been here 3 days longer than us to acclimatize. For us from New Zealand, it was only a 2-hour time difference, but for Ethan, man, I don't even know how long it is, but not going to be an easy adjustment. So one of the things I wanted to do this day was catch more than one casina. And the good news was I caught my first casina on a 6th Apparatus and the Coleman with a bit of a leg separation on the catch. And I did do a few more reps, but did not catch. I think you're about to see a funny one. Pin. Got winded a little bit there. Hit myself in the back on the side of the ribs, and then I think I just got tired and gassed out. David and I had a big fight that day about whether or not I should do another casina. He told me, no, Mish, you should stop. You got to stop. You've done enough. I said, come on, David, one more. Let's do one more casina. He's like, mate, if you do another casina, I'm not letting you travel to Oceania. I'm kidding. That's not at all what happened. But I do remember we had some funny, funny conversations. I was done with my session. I finished up ring strength, and I joked to David, casina? But obviously I wasn't going to do a casino at that point. So Thursday, last training day. How many did we do today? What's that? 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll spare you the counting. Yeah, man, I don't know if it's possible for me to straighten that right elbow. Left looking from here, but my right. 21, new record. New record is 21. Got to start doing it on the low handle soon. And here is where you'll notice that I just kind of, I wouldn't even say a bit off, I was just done. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, here it is again. Here's that Oceania week, compulsory taper that my body makes me do. Doesn't matter what I try, body says, mate, you are done, you are finished. And I kind of refused to listen, but at the same time, I remembered the last 2-3 years, and I was like, okay, here it comes again. I'll just take one turn and move on. So, as you can tell, I didn't even do any swinging on rings, just went straight into strength. I was feeling quite tender in the shoulders and the pecs. All my joints were feeling tender, so I understood that better not to do too much. There you go. The only thing we can muster on vault was just a couple of back handsprings over the vault. So yeah, you're not going to see anything major now. So we've made it to the Gold Coast. We're all fit and healthy. Just gotta do everything we can now on the day. Test out the podium equipment on podium we're leaving in about half an hour or so, 45 minutes. Test out the equipment, and competition is tomorrow, so we have to have a pretty good balance, not do too much, but at the same time you do want to feel what the equipment's like, so you got to test out at least some of the big skills and dismounts just to see where things are at. So there you go, guys. Another training week coming to you from the Gold Coast. Take a look at the view one more time. We'll be hitting up that water on Sunday morning in probably one of these cafes in the area. Grab a coffee before the flight. It is beautiful out here and much warmer than back home. So As always, thanks for your support. Till next time.